What's up, everybody? How you doing? Welcome back to SHOPcast, episode 73. Happy New Year's, everybody. It is officially 2022. This is a video we wanted to... Actually, matter of fact, I got a lot of videos coming out in the first week or two of the year that I wanted to have out the last week of last year, but I had my voice just completely go out. And then between that and then, holidays and family obligations, we all have kids and stuff. So this is maybe a little later than we planned. I know I have my December movie pickups video hadn't even been filmed yet, so a lot of stuff is just a little late this month, so my apologies on that. But we are here to talk about our top 10 movies of 2021, and the reason that we decided to go top 10 movies is because I have a separate top 10 horror list. But let me go ahead and just warn you, I'd say they're real similar lists. There's a probably 4 or 5, maybe 4 different slots, and some of it's arranged differently on my other list. So I'll make my own solo list, 10-20 minute video, but this is gonna be a long form conversation. We're gonna start by going, Josh will do his 10 through 6, Chris will do 10 through 6, I'll do 10 through 6, and then we'll start going 5, 4, 3, and we'll get to that way so you can hear us talk about the top 5 movies of the year. Is usually more important anyway. So yeah, thanks for joining us. Hope you all had a happy and safe New Year's Eve. I hope everybody got home safely and everybody's in good spirits and feeling okay. We're about to fuck this year in its ass. So no Vaseline, says Ice Cube. But yeah. Anyways, fuck yeah. All right, let's get this show on the road, man. Josh, let's get your 10 through 6, my friend. Okay. I want to know where you put certain movies.
All right.
Sounded way sexier than I meant it to sound, but whatever. Where'd you put your movies, Josh?
In a very secret place. Yeah. So my this whole 10 list is, I think, all really good movies, and all of them could be probably rearranged over and over again. Like this should be at 8, really, or
Okay.
It's just like how I feel about it at this very moment.
For sure, this is super up to changing.
And all of these are new movies, so most of them I've only seen once too. A lot of times.
That was where I was having my most trouble. Is that almost all of these I've seen one time, and so I'm like, can I remember it correctly? And when some of them I wrote down, and then I was like, wait, I don't think I like that near that much. Let me take this off or move it. So yeah, this is subject to change, folks. So calm down if you're really mad about something. I'm probably gonna get furious. As a matter of fact, what's the over/under on how many movies Josh and I have in common? I'm gonna say 3. What you taking, Chris? Over or under?
1.
I was thinking, dude, it might be low. 3 I thought was a good odd. 3 was a good over/under.
I think it's 2.
Yeah, actually, it might be.
As I said, when I think it's probably 2 now that I'm thinking about it, but.
And one of them is my number 10, which is Last Night in Soho.
No, it's not on my list at all. No, I'm playing. Yeah, of course it is.
I was pretty sure it was on your list. I know you liked it quite a bit. I also did. Edgar Wright, I think we all love Edgar Wright.
Yep.
That's very fun, stylish movies, jukebox movies. They all have great soundtracks.
Dude,
this one was, go ahead.
His soundtracks are great. Sorry.
Always. Yeah. That's one of the best parts of his movies. He always has great needle drops. And this one was no exception. It was a lot of fun. It was beautiful. Has the giallo feel, the color palette, while also being like a love letter to the old 60s.
I so wanted to be like your mom.
Yeah, it just like it. I walked out really liking it, and the more it sat with me, the less it stayed with. It just didn't stay with me as much as some of his other movies have. It's
the one that I want to watch again the most out of all the movies this year.
Yeah, I definitely need to watch it again.
That doesn't mean I'm gonna like it any more or less than I do now. It's the one that I only got to watch once, and I really wanted to watch it again, and I haven't had a chance to do so. So as soon as I can buy it, it may be out already. I don't even know. But as soon as I can get a copy and sit down and watch it, I'm gonna.
I think it comes out in a couple of weeks. So
I'm definitely gonna. I didn't think it was out yet.
It's not that long. I think it's January.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, it's pretty soon. I'm definitely gonna buy it. Definitely gonna watch it again. really enjoyed it. There's definitely some spots in the middle with her getting chased by ghosts and stuff that felt like it took a little too long.
That's kind of why I want to
But-
rewatch it, because there's a few things that I want to maybe understand a little bit more.
Mhm.
I will say this: I am super fucking worried if this is 10 on your list.
Yeah.
Like, I can tell you right now, there's probably 4 movies on your list that won't even touch any list I ever put out.
I'm sure.
But like, I
there's
really thought
several-
that there was gonna be, that would be a little higher though. I did think this would be a little higher. I was thinking more like 7 for you, but you know, it's your list.
Yeah.
I was just,
I initially had it a little higher, and
Yeah.
I ended up moving it down.
these lists are fun like that. Everything's like
I did the
Yeah.
same
bing,
with
bing,
it
bing,
too.
bing, got a
Actually.
winner.
Yeah.
Do what, Chris?
I did the same with it too. Like I had
Yeah.
it like a little higher up, and then
Yeah.
rearranged.
Is it in a similar spot?
Same spot.
Same spot?
spot?
Okay. Okay. Well, you want to talk about it now since we're
No, I mean,
discussing it?
I think we felt pretty similarly. I think, yeah, like the ghost stuff got a little overdone to me, but yeah, still really enjoyed it. Everything you said about it applies to me as well. It's
Yeah.
fun, good soundtrack, good time. I definitely do want to rewatch it.
I want to fix my lighting. That's what I want to do. This shit is irritating the fire out of me. My camera is not cooperating, but whatever. Sorry. All right, number 9, Josh.
Number 9 is King Richard, the movie about Serena Williams. Serena
Oh,
and,
yeah, I wasn't watching that hot garbage.
dude, it's surprisingly
The
good.
cast is phenomenal. I was just talking crap. I just heard about it like one time. I saw one trailer and forgot it existed. But
Yeah.
if you recommend I watch it, I'll give it at least one spin.
I told Chris about it a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I watched it. It was on HBO Max, so I was like, you know, I like
I'll
Will
definitely
Smith.
watch it then.
I think it's gone off of there now, but
Oh,
it'll
okay.
probably pop up
It'll
again
be back.
in a few months, I would imagine. But I really had no expectations for it. I was like, Will Smith's good. You know, I don't really know anything about the story.
Yeah.
Very, very little. I have basically no interest in tennis.
I can't believe that is number on your top 10 list.
But
That gives
It
you the
is-
strength of the movies this year. Gee Louise.
it is surprisingly good. I mean, Will Smith is amazing.
Oh, he's such a good actor. I forget how good he is whenever he puts out shit like Gemini Man.
Right.
Like, and then you see something like this apparently, and you're like, oh yeah, that's right. Will Smith's the shit.
I mean, it made me really happy because I love Will Smith, but he hasn't really been in anything that I was interested in for honestly years now.
A while.
It's been a long time since he's had put out anything that was like of any interest or quality to me.
Yeah.
Dude,
Same here.
it's been a hot minute for Will Smith.
Yeah. So this one was a big surprise for me and a lot of fun. Like I think it's like 2.5 hours because it tells
Oh wow.
it tells like their whole story.
Okay.
And it follows the sports movie
Yeah.
formula, but it just worked. It's surprisingly inspirational, and it just hit me
That's
the
good
right
to
way.
know. I like to know
It's
stuff
very
like that. I
good.
mean, I'm interested in watching it based on your recommendation.
Yeah.
But I think otherwise I probably would have completely let this one slip through my fingers. Like
Yeah,
water.
I would give it a shot. I mean, I don't think it's going to be anything that's going to blow you away. It's
Yeah.
but it was a really strong movie.
Sometimes you just want to watch a nice drama, and you don't want B movie
Yeah.
gore, or you don't want scares, or you know what I'm saying. Sometimes I just want a drama. I don't necessarily want a horror movie. It's not often, but there is times where I just want a solid drama. So it's nice.
I think
to
you
know
would
that
like it. I think y'all would both like it.
Yeah,
I don't
heard a
know
lot
if you
of
ever
good
got
stuff.
around to it, Chris.
I heard a lot of good stuff about it, and I mean, of course, you talked good about it. It just kind of same as Randy. Like I didn't just really think about it.
Yeah,
I saw it was out, and then I just forgot.
When you said King Richard, I didn't know what you're talking about. To be honest.
I figured. Yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. I mean, and it's fun. It's not like just cookie cutter. It's got a lot of energy to it. John Bernthal shows up in it. There's a lot of good
Oh, that's
character
right. I
actors.
saw him in the trailer.
Yeah,
I love
Yeah,
that dude. I really, really like John Bernthal a lot, actually.
yeah, me too. Yeah, he's a strong character actor. But yeah, it's just a lot of fun. and just a good time. My next one, my number 8 is Pig. Okay, I'm guessing that's quite a bit higher for you guys.
Wait, which one you say?
Pig.
Oh, you said Pig. Dude, I didn't even hear it. You just said it. My brain was like, man, I'm over here chilling. Meh. Yeah, I didn't even hear you say the word. Yeah, quite a bit higher for me. Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Same spot for me.
Really?
It's in the same spot?
Same exact spot.
You guys need to quit making out and fucking make your own list.
I guess.
Speaking of making out, did you see who's on my button?
I can't see it. There's a glare.
blurry.
God damn. You see it?
Not
He was
really.
fucking Justin Timberlake, bro. Let's go. Let's go. I saw it at Cactus Music and I was like, well, I'll take that.
I'm bringing sexy back today.
I'm trying to. I'm a little overweight. It is what it is. So Pig, number 8.
8.
Huh?
Number 8 for me.
Hey,
Yeah.
man. As long as it's on your list, I love that movie.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Another one that was a big surprise. I think I sent you guys the trailer for it, and I was like, this looks ridiculous, but
Yeah.
also very intriguing. And it turned out to be, turned out to be awesome. I need to watch it again.
I'll say
watch
this.
it once.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I've seen it twice,
Mhm.
and it's perfect for what it is. You can't improve upon it. I've already got the Blu-ray. Watched it with Krista, and even she liked it a lot. So I'll talk more about it later. But yeah, I loved it, man. It was surprising. It was one of those ones where I thought I was gonna get this. Instead, I got this.
Right.
And usually when that happens, I'm not happy, but I was thrilled. It was a wonderful movie.
Yeah, same here. I think of all the movies on my list, I think it was like the earliest one I had watched. Like it's been the longest since I've seen it. So, I mean, maybe on a rewatch, it might kind of climb back up a little bit because a few of these other ones I've seen fairly recently, so maybe they're just fresher. But
I've got one movie on my list that I watched before Pig, and coincidentally, they're both very high up on my list.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, but it was just a great movie. I mean, really a surprise. It came out of nowhere. It's a small indie, and something with Nicolas Cage. I mean, I know Randall is a big Nick Cage fan.
Yeah.
But
Really?
for the,
What?
I mean, generally speaking, for the most part, over the last few years, especially, he's been known for doing a lot of, just kind of B-movie stuff.
Off the wall weird shit.
Weird, strange stuff, and some probably paychecks, but nothing that is gonna like break through the way that this one did.
Well, this one brought him back to form, man. This was like leaving Las Vegas Nick Cage. He was like back,
Yeah.
Dude, yeah. I mean, there's that scene in the restaurant, that one scene in the restaurant where he talks about you don't get very many things to really care about.
Yeah.
That scene is I went back and rewatched that a couple of
You mean
days
when he's
ago.
talking to the guy about why didn't you open your pub?
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah, that scene.
that spoke to me, bro. Like that cemented what I'm doing with my life. Like when he did that, and as corny as it may sound, I knew that me working hard on this channel was the right thing for me to do, because it's the only thing I've ever done that I've been happy with it from the day I started it until right now. Now there's been peaks and valleys, okay? There is with everything. But since I started seriously working on my channel, there hasn't been anything that I've enjoyed as much. I've had some tough days, but overall it's been a blast. And I mean, I really did think about it. I was like, man, he's so right, dude. I'd rather make almost no money doing this right now than make a salary at some place where I had to wear a button down and a tie and a belt. I just don't dress like that. That's not comfortable to me. I don't feel like that looks like me. It just isn't me. So,
well, even for most people, I think it still speaks to them too, because
for sure,
most people are doing something that they
have the opposite feeling. They're like, I need to get out of this rut and get into something I love.
Right, exactly. They're not doing something, even if they're not doing something they hate, it's not like their passion. It's not like
Yeah.
what they would be spending all their time on if they had that choice, you know.
Oh, let's not get it twisted. I felt lucky and fortunate. And let me apologize. My throat is still really dry. I've got a handful of hard candies over here, so if I'm making a bunch of noise, I apologize. My throat is still going, and my voice is still going in and out. I'm trying to keep that from happening. So
That's
sorry.
not. That's not too bad. I don't think.
But
Yeah, I mean, one of the best things that Nick Cage has done in a long time. for
I
sure.
agree.
You know, it's a directorial debut. I don't remember the guy's name, but this is an amazing.
Yeah, I reached out to him
first
twice.
movie. Yeah,
I wish I could get a response from him.
well, yeah, it's worth a shot. But
I mean, he might just be really busy right now. I don't know. I'm not judging nobody. I just wish I could get a hold of him. I'd love to hear some stories about Nick Cage and see what else that guy's trying to make in the future, you know?
yeah, for sure.
Cool.
All right. Well, number 7 is Titan.
Okay. Is that how you say it, Titan?
I think so. I've watched a few other reviews, and everyone seems to.
That's the consensus.
That seems to be.
I've
the
only seen one
consensus.
review and he called it Titan, which is exactly what I thought it sounded like. So that's why I asked. I don't care either way. Titan actually makes more sense to me now that I've heard it. I've never heard it pronounced that way, so it sounds better to me.
Yeah.
I've always hated saying Titan. It sounds weird. So Titan makes, for whatever reason, it just sounds to me more like it works. Anyhow.
Yeah.
Wow, that movie's really high on your list. That's shocking to me.
Yeah, another one that I definitely need to rewatch. It's one of the ones that there was 2 movies that I really wanted to rewatch before we did this, and I only got to one of them. So I definitely need to watch this again, but I don't know. It hit me like a ton of bricks. It was just like a crazy movie. That first 45 minutes when, you know, she's basically a serial killer is, I mean, it's
pretty wild.
It's pretty
Well-
wild and tense and then it becomes something else. But
That's how bad this year's movies were for me. That almost made my list.
yeah,
And I mean, upon letting it simmer, I don't feel the way that I initially felt about it. Because initially I was just like, that was trash. Because I just wasn't even remotely ready for that kind of movie when I sat down to watch it.
mm-hmm.
But upon like, all right, man, calm down. Think about what you watched. It does fit into my wheelhouse of weird shit that I like. And so I had to get over myself and get over my initial reaction, because a lot of me is just, sometimes I'm just stubborn and I want to not like something because I initially didn't like it. It's really hard for me to be like, all right, fuck it, I was wrong. But on that one, I do like it currently. That's what I tried to do with Malignant. I tried to go back and watch that one and think like, okay, maybe I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to be more of that ilk and to be the kind of guy that is okay of being like, all right, yeah, when I first watched it, my initial reaction, I just didn't really, now I see it for this and this and this, but I just couldn't get behind that one. But I did with Titan, what is it again?
Titan.
I did get back there. It almost made it on my list, which is not a good thing, I think, because even now I still don't hold it in that category, but it is something I want to rewatch, and I will buy it.
Okay.
It's on my list.
I'm not surprised.
I mean, it's just, I mean, for one thing, it's just so different. There's nothing else that came out this year.
I'm just surprised with your placement. I'm not too shocked it's on your list. I'm really surprised it's so high.
Well, I mean, it's number 7. So a few things
Yeah,
above it.
I thought this might be an honorable mention as my point. But
Well,
I don't care. I'm surprised.
Well, I also give it points for just for originality.
Originality, yeah, that does earn some points because it is a very original movie.
Yeah, there's nothing quite like it, and I know I was a little surprised that you even wanted to see it. I know you liked Raw.
I love that movie.
Raw is not like a slasher movie or anything. It's a slow movie too.
Yeah, I really
And
enjoy
it's
that one.
Very artful. So, I mean,
I like a lot of movies like that. They're just not usually my favorite.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird when I do say something like that. You're like, I forgot you watch something like that sometimes, because I usually watch like, dude, check out this shot-on video movie that's like 36 minutes long and it's nothing but fucking fake blood and a bunch of tits.
Yeah, honestly, I was kind of surprised when you said you liked Raw, because it's definitely an art movie.
Oh, I really enjoyed that movie a lot. I've sold like 4 copies at the store because I really did like it. Which, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know that I really recognized it as an artfully done movie. Interesting. I need to rewatch it from like that vantage point and just kind of see what I get out of it. Dude, watching movies with you guys has been at times frustrating, but I would say overall it's been very beneficial to me.
Well, I mean, I think it's been good for all of us. Just
no, I'm being very serious. I appreciate the time we've made out of this. You know,
even stuff that we picked that one of us picks that I don't end up liking, I still kind of appreciate, and I like to see through other people's
even when
eyes.
we pick one that none of us like, we get great content out of it because it's hilarious. So
oh yeah, sometimes those are the best discussions,
for real. Veronica, fucking heaping pile of trash.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. It's a crazy slasher movie for 45 minutes, and then it becomes this like
weird body horror sci-fi type of shit.
Well, it's
a survival movie almost. Like she's trying to survive.
What?
Like,
well,
I'm trying to remember the exact chain of events, but I mean, she's kind of goes on the run.
Yeah,
and she's just trying to, maybe not survive is the right word, but she's just trying to.
Well, in a way, it kind of becomes a love story. It's like it becomes this like.
Man, we just see movies different, man. I'm gonna have to be okay with that because I don't agree with either of those assessments of it. Maybe a little bit of the love story thing, but definitely not survival.
Well, I mean, she's in hiding, because of what she did.
That's like an afterthought of what's going on, man. Like everything else is in the front, and that's like in the back. So like, sure, is she trying to survive? Yeah, I guess you could say that about everybody, though. I mean, if that's the case, then Scream's a survival movie. You know, and I don't look at it like that. It's all I don't care how you think of it. I'm just saying, like, we very much view movies completely different. Like, you'll say stuff all the time about a movie, and I'm like, what? Because I just don't see them the same way. We just watch movies different, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say that I care necessarily, other than it's just an observation.
Yeah. I mean, and it just becomes this sort of a relationship movie about these two lonely people that find each other.
The fucking dancing on the fire truck thing. That's my favorite scene in the whole movie.
And there's definitely a lot there about identity, like chosen identity, and things like that.
I was wondering how that was going to fit into the conversation of this movie, because I don't know that was intentional as far as representing and advocating for that community. I think that community might take the movie and go, this belongs to us, but I don't know that was made for that. Not good or bad, not talking shit, just in general, I feel like they were more going, it's just a horror situation, it's a horror movie, it's a sci-fi thing, not we're advocating for this kind of person. And if somebody of any kind of community feels a certain way about a movie, I absolutely want them to identify with it and take it and let it be theirs, because it's for everybody. I'm not trying to say otherwise, but I don't know that it was made for that. It might have been. I haven't thought about it much, but I've thought about it enough to know that when you said that, I was like, oh yeah, you know, I didn't really think it was made for that reason. But and if you've read something or heard something, let me know. I'd love to know if that was intentional, because it just didn't feel like it was. It felt like it was kind of I don't know, like a pivot in the story. Like, here's the story, but here's this little thing that's in the story, kind of thing. Almost like I feel about the survival aspect of it. Yeah, it's a part of the story, but I didn't know if it was like I don't know.
I don't know for a fact. I want to say, because I did look up some stuff after I watched it the first time, and I want to say I saw the director talk about it. It feels like a pretty intentional choice when you're writing a story and you choose to make her dress up like a boy. You know.
Yeah, but she didn't do it because she was feeling like a man.
Yeah,
she did it to disguise herself. Like, it wasn't like a That is why I'm saying that's why I feel like it wasn't to represent that community necessarily.
Yeah. It was a survival mechanism, not necessarily.
Yeah, I would say that goes probably with what Chris was saying more so than that, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. But I mean, you know, but that's what this stuff's for. It's all up to interpretation, really. You know, what did you get out of it? Did you enjoy it? It's the most important question. So, I mean, you know, I feel like I'm being argumentative, and I'm not trying to be. I'm just, Well, I always feel like that. People always say like I'm fucking arguing. I'm like, no, I'm just making a point. But
I'm not saying anything definite, honestly. I just think it brings up those sort of questions. At least it brings up those sort of things in my mind. And that's one of the reasons I liked it too, because it made me think about it. I'm like,
so do you have something that you want to tell us, Josh?
I love you.
He gets up and he unwraps himself. His beard's actually fake. He pulls it off. He's got a tube top on. I'm like, oh shit. Yeah. What's up, Josephine? Oh man, I'm gonna get canceled for that. I was just fucking joking. I hate people. Quit being pussies. Anyways. Yeah, I am happy that I thought about that one more though, because I was really disappointed in it.
Yeah.
And then I was hearing the most insane shit about it. I was like, it was very much a case of Aquaman. I was like kind of on the fence about it was even worth watching again. I felt a little stronger about Aquaman, admittedly, but like the same kind of thing though. It was like, I didn't like it, but I wasn't really trying to talk about it much. But then I kept hearing how great it was, and I was like, and it just pushed me further in the other direction. So once people stopped talking about it, and I was able to think about it on my own without anybody else's input, it really became more of, okay, I just need to understand this now, because when I went into it, based on the trailer, I definitely thought I was getting something different, which,
right,
of course I did. Fucking trailers, dude. They're never, trailers are almost always garbage, dude. They look something look amazing, and you go watch it, and it's either different or it's not good. So, you know, and maybe they did that intentionally with something like this. That's more than likely the case, I'd imagine. They wanted to kind of like throw you off a little bit. And then here's a surprise, because I mean, that in this genre, at least for that kind of movie, I think that fits better than say like a, I don't know. Let's. Ooh, that would have ruined something. So I'm glad I didn't say that. Would have spoiled something. Harry Potter movie. Let's say you're gonna go see Harry Potter, right? And you see the trailer, and it's like, oh, family friendly, you know, fantasy with wizards and stuff. And then you get there, and it's really dark. It's kind of scary, and you're like, hold up, dude, this is not for fucking kids. I feel like that works with a movie like that versus Harry Potter. It wouldn't be a very wise decision. So they need to cut trailers better for like the big budget stuff, but I don't even know where I was going with that. But except that the trailer threw me off. And, you know,
well, it definitely starts out as some sort of like slasher Cronenberg.
Dude, the first like 45 minutes of it was so insane that's when I was really, I'll be honest, I really liked the first like 45 to 60 minutes of that movie. And the second half, it wasn't that I didn't like it, I just didn't understand it, and I sure as hell didn't expect it. So I'm just sitting there, and all of a sudden it just goes, oh, sharp left, and I was like, oh, geez, I'm not here for this today. I was definitely hoping it was going to be a little more straightforward, but now that I'm thinking about it, after watching Raw, why did I expect it to be anything other than fucking weird? Anyway.
So my last one before we move on is West Side Story.
Fuck, dude, I didn't even see that one either. I forgot that even came out. I heard really good things though.
Yeah, I kind of didn't expect either of y'all to care about it. It's a musical, the remake of an old 60s musical.
Yeah.
One that I really like, and one that surprised me because I didn't think there was any reason to remake it.
It was a weird choice. I thought. And
Steven Spielberg. It's like, okay, Jewish guy's gonna. I know he's an amazing director, but Jewish guy is gonna remake a classic movie, a movie that won Best Picture, and it's.
That's even harder, dude. Like, you're gonna do what? You're gonna fucking shit on a classic? Awesome, good job.
Yeah, and it's about, you know, largely about Latin culture.
Yeah, inner city, isn't it? Inner city, like New York.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's a weird choice of movies to pick for sure.
I mean, the story is basically Romeo and Juliet, just set in New York, but I really wasn't expecting too much. The trailer looked pretty good. I was like, well, it's Spielberg, it'll probably be decent. And
excuse me.
Me and Tori rewatched the old one the day before we went and saw it, and then we went and saw the new one, and the new one's better. It's a better movie.
I've heard that from a lot of people. So I'll probably watch it because now that I'm thinking about it, that's something that my wife would probably really appreciate that I'd sat down and watched with her. Yeah. So and
it's the best thing that Spielberg has made in a decade, probably, in my opinion.
Who was in that? Anybody of note?
Ansel Elgort, the guy from Baby Driver.
Okay.
He's the main. He's Romeo, basically.
Okay.
But other than that, it's a lot of Latin actresses you haven't seen.
I like me some Latin actresses. Let's go.
You know I do.
I know, right?
But it was just surprisingly good. It's like incredibly shot. It just looks great. The music's all good. It's all the music from the original. But it was just incredibly like well done. And I mean, Tori liked it more. There's a lot of, they actually speak Spanish a lot in the movie, so
nice.
It felt genuine. It felt like it was just a really like fun movie.
Dude, I'm kind of intrigued to watch it now.
I freaking cried at the end, and I was like, not expecting that.
Dude, I cried like a baby during one of my picks.
Yeah,
man, this year was an interesting year for film, in my opinion. I'm looking at my list, bro, and I'm just like shaking my head. I'm like, this is gonna be an interesting conversation when it gets around to me.
Well, that was my 6. So
that's 10 through 6. Chris, let's go with you, and let's do your top or your second 10 through 6. Golly, I can't talk.
Yeah, I mean, I brought it up already. Was Last Night in Soho is at 10.
Yeah.
I mean, we pretty much, I think, said everything on that.
Yep.
Yeah, liked it. Gonna buy it when it comes out and give it another rewatch. Yeah, another one we talked about, Titan. Again, like kind of similar thing. Like I definitely want to get that. I don't know if it's coming out in America or not.
Oh, really?
It is.
It is? Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't really seen any release info on it yet, so.
That might be my most anticipated rewatch, because that's the one that I think I might actually like the most out of the ones I was on the fence of. Because I'm at this point already on the side of I enjoyed it and I want to rewatch it, but that's the most anticipated rewatch for me.
Yeah, and I'd never seen Raw before, but I've heard a lot of good stuff about it. So this one would just kind of.
Man, I didn't realize you hadn't seen that. For some reason, I thought you had.
Yeah, I mean, I do want to watch it. It made me want to go back and.
Yeah, you can borrow mine if you want.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll grab it one day.
Dude, I like Raw so much that I got Daryl to buy a copy and sold some at the store. Like I enjoyed that movie a lot. It was one of the ones that when I watched it, it caught me so off guard with how much I enjoyed it, that the moment they said from the director of Raw, I was in. Like I didn't even question watching however the fuck you say it. I wasn't even questioning it, man. I knew from the second I saw the trailer I was gonna watch it. Didn't know if I'd like it, but I knew I was gonna support it. So
yeah, it's an interesting one. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought it would have really cracked my 10, but yeah, I enjoyed it. It was really good.
Dude, y'all are gonna be like, dude, it could have replaced half your list, Randall.
Yeah, number 8 on mine is Pig.
Okay.
Yeah, like it's been a little while since I've seen it, so like some of the details I think I'm probably missing on it, so it slid. I got it pretty high on my list, and then like the last couple of weeks, some of the new stuff that's been coming out, like it's just kind of bumped it down and down and down. But still solid and still deserves to be on the list, I think.
For sure.
So number 7 is one we haven't talked about yet, and I know it's going to be on Josh's list. No Time to Die.
Okay. Yeah.
That's one of the ones that I wanted to watch the most that I didn't get to watch.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not a big Bond fan, but when Daniel Craig came on and Casino Royale came out, I was like, oh, this looks pretty good. So, I mean, ever since Daniel Craig, like, I guess I'm a Bond fan now, because
I think that's where I sit too. I'm a Daniel Craig Bond fan.
Yeah, some of them, like, I think it kind of goes like good, bad, good, bad, good.
The odd numbered ones are good.
Yeah,
and the other
it kind of goes up and down a little bit.
So I haven't seen one of his that I didn't like.
I mean, I just say bad as.
Like
I think there's
not as good as they could have been.
I mean, like the good ones are really, really good.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay,
and the other ones are just kind of mediocre.
So
okay,
I'm a Bond fan, but almost completely because of Josh and my mom. Like, I was a Bond fan a little bit as a kid because of my mom, and then the more we hang out, the more longer I'm friends with Josh, the more I like Bond because I know you like Bond, so I get a little more interested just because I know you're interested in it. Not that I wouldn't be otherwise, but it's definitely more because I know that you like it. So I'm like, oh, it'll give us something to talk about when I see you next or whatever. So that's the one that I kept trying to watch. I just never got time to do it. and I wish I had. It might have ended up on this list. Looking at it, I'm like, oh god.
Yeah.
There's
really
a few
good.
that I think I could have probably had on this list had I had the time to watch them.
Yeah, I think it's probably in the middle to me of Craig Bond movies, but like Spectre and Casino Royale are so high. Well, not Spectre, Skyfall. Skyfall is my favorite, and then Casino
Skyfall's
Royale.
Good.
Both of those are so good. I don't think this one's as good as that, but it's still really, really good.
We got to do like a spy movie marathon and go through like Bond, like pick out like maybe like 5 Bond flicks, and then do like the Mission Impossible movies and then the Bourne movies and then rank them all.
Yeah, I've never seen
that. Wouldn't take 2 months.
No, I've never seen any of the old Bond stuff.
Oh, they're horrible. Don't watch them.
I'd be down to watch any that's worth.
I will not watch one of those. I'm just putting that out there now.
I mean, even the old, I don't know, Connery or whoever else.
I'll listen to y'all talk about it and just sit here and laugh. I don't have a problem with y'all watching it. I mean, I guess I might watch it. I'll probably fall asleep. No, because I hate those movies, man. Like, I was a Bond fan as a little kid. That's why it's separated, because I used to like it a little bit because my mom liked it. The older I got, the more I realized how much I hated them. And I didn't care about Bond at all until I started talking with Josh, and he likes Bond stuff. So I kind of went back and rewatched. I never watched, except I think I watched Casino Royale in the theater, and maybe the other really good one, Skyfall.
Yeah.
I don't think any of the other ones I've ever seen in theaters because I'm not a big fan of his. I like more of the Bourne type stuff. It's more my style. And I'm just a big Tom Cruise fan, so I like all the Mission. I almost said Minority Report. I like all the Mission Impossible ones. Minority Report's cool too, I guess. But yeah, I mean, they're not good, man.
Yeah, I don't want to go watching any like Pierce Brosnan ones or anything like that.
I'd rather watch that than the Sean Connery ones.
Really? I mean, I've never seen any, so
fuck it. Let's just watch Miss Doubtfire. All right, he's got Sean Connery in it. Let's just watch that. I mean, Pierce Brosnan in
Pierce
it.
Brosnan.
Chris, you can just watch Goldeneye and be done with Pierce Brosnan. That one's pretty good.
Yeah, Goldeneye's pretty solid. The rest of them are pretty awful. He only did like what, 3 or 4? 3?
I think he did 5.
What?
Really?
That's how bad they are. I didn't even know 2 of them existed. Jeez.
4, maybe 4. Yeah.
Oh, I said 3 or 4. I thought it was 3, but maybe it was 4. I know Goldeneye was the only one that I remember watching and liking was Goldeneye. But wasn't that the first one?
Yes, that was his first one.
Yeah, I played.
Who was the
64
girl in it? Was it Halle Berry?
No, that's one of the later ones. That's the worst one.
Okay.
That one's really bad.
Let's go.
Yeah, so I played a lot of GoldenEye on 64, but that was about as far as
I tell you what, I ate a lot of mushrooms and played that game a lot. It was a good time.
Dude, that GoldenEye was a shit in the day.
Dude, it was so fun. And so was Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Never played that.
I don't think I ever played that game either.
What? Dude, that was a really good game.
I never played it.
I love the movie.
Existed.
I'm trying to think of. I think it was on 64. I think might have been Super Nintendo even. No, it's 64. Anyways, what number were you on, Chris?
That was number 7.
7. Okay.
No. So number 6 is The Last Duel.
Jesus Lord, I'm looking at my list. I'm just shaking my head, man.
Yeah, I mean, I know we all know the story. I guess that it bombed so bad in the theaters. It came out the same week as Halloween, right?
That's the second one that I want to watch that I didn't get to watch. I really did want to watch. I heard it was amazing.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, maybe it'll be up on Josh's list, but I don't think so. I think he probably would have put it.
It's an honorable mention. For me.
Yeah, like it's a little long, and
that's what she said. Got one. Let's go.
It's it's 3 separate stories, but I think they do a really good job of not just overdoing the same thing over and over again.
That's important.
They once they get to the second part, they kind of quickly go over some of the stuff that they've already done, but from a different perspective, and they kind of move on and show you new things. And same thing with the third part. They just glance over a few things and then show you some new stuff that you haven't. So it's not a lot of rehashing, but it still is fairly long. But yeah, I've enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was awesome.
Is it available on any streaming services yet?
don't know. I mean, I'm
No.
sure you could probably rent it on Amazon or
Oh,
something.
probably, yeah.
It's rentable now. It's not like free streaming anywhere. That's
Okay.
I rented it on Amazon for like $3.
Okay.
No
I
way.
might rent it next couple of days in the evening time or something.
It's worth watching. I mean, man, the duel at the end is incredible.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot, actually, that the duel was worth the whole movie.
Yeah, and it's a good story. It's basically Rashomon. It's like,
oh man,
all talking about, it's just how 3 different people can see the exact same events completely differently, and
that's
it's
important, man,
it's all
because
about
that's real.
perspective.
That's so real.
Yeah.
Think about when you argue with your wife. You're both talking about the same thing, and you have completely different points of view, and it's the same thing that happened. It's
Right.
and then you add another person to the mix. That's a big mess.
Well, it's kind of like us talking about movies. Like sometimes I bring something
never.
up, and you're like, you saw it completely differently than I did.
Dude,
It's just
facts. That's every movie that's ever existed,
like,
except Halloween and Malignant.
pretty much.
But,
All
yeah,
right.
Yeah, great. Yeah, I really recommended checking it out. It's worth a watch for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, now for 5 movies that only I've seen. All right. Oh, dude. Number 10 is Wrong Turn, 2021.
Okay.
The 10, 9, and 8 were just kind of a big mess. I didn't know where to put what. I think I landed them right though. Wrong Turn there's a very specific reason. This movie did not get any love that it deserves. Wrong Turn, specifically the first one, is a legitimate cult classic horror movie. Like, that goes up on the shelf with many big horror movies. So I thought I knew what I was getting with Wrong Turn when it came out. I was like, oh, cool. It's like a years later rehashing of the same story. And it's completely different. And it's done so much better. There's twists that you'll never see coming. The last act is something you would never be able to predict. The ending is awesome. I'm trying to be as vague as I can because I want people to watch this movie. It's violent. It's got amazing kills. And in my opinion, it's far and away the best Wrong Turn in this series. Now, I know a lot of people that isn't into horror stuff probably won't care about that. But people that are into horror movies, for me, being a mostly horror fan, to say that this is the best one in the series, I would hope holds a little bit of weight. And just on my recommendation alone, I hope you go see it. I think it's on Shudder. I'm almost positive you can get it on Prime for either free or like $2. But it was one that
good things about it. I heard pretty good things about it.
Did you? I didn't hear much at all about it, man. When I watched it, I got really sad because I was completely shocked by how great it was. I watched it twice in a row. I don't remember the times that I can't recall when I've done that last. Where I watched a movie and then got up, took a leak, came back, boom, play again. Because it's not very long, so it goes. Dude, the pacing is really good. That doesn't happen a lot. Number 9 is a movie that when I watched it the first time, I was furious. I absolutely hated it. I was so mad. And then I was thinking about it and something clicked and I went, oh, it went over my head. And so I watched it a second time and it's amazing. It's Slumber Party Massacre, the remake. When I first watched it, I was like, oh my God, there was not a single tit in this movie. And I was just, I couldn't believe it, dude. Because one thing about Slumber Party Massacre is it's a literal 80s classic. But it's got like one of the most large amounts of naked chicks in the first act that I've seen in a horror movie. But it makes sense because it goes with the story. But they wrote it to be that. Like it makes sense. So with this one, the first thing I said when I saw the trailer was, hey man, as long as there's tits and blood, it's probably going to be all right. Not a single tit in this movie. But I misunderstood the whole thing. The whole movie is a meta joke. Dude, the whole thing is a joke. The whole movie. It's all the eye candy is dudes. And I just didn't catch it on the first viewing. Because I don't look at dudes like that.
Shouldn't that be higher on your list then?
So, tons of penises.
No, but in a couple of nice rumps, dude. There's a shower scene that was pretty interesting. But I've only seen it the 2 times, and it's a pretty short movie. It's one that I want to own because I appreciate the fact that they got me with it, because I was so pissed off when I watched it. I was like, dude, they ruined a classic. And then I was like talking about it with somebody. I might have been Nick Mendoza. And then I was like, wait a minute. And I was like, because whoever I was talking with explained a scene, and I was like, no, it happened like this. And then he goes, no, it happened like this. And I was like, wait, are you sure? And then I started thinking about it. I was like, oh, damn. They were trying to show you something that I just didn't see it. So when I went and rewatched it, all kinds of shit was pointed out that I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And it's like it's a giant joke. And I think that if you can make a whole movie like that and it's still good, that, bravo, because it completely got me. And it's not that I didn't expect that. I didn't care. I just wanted to watch a movie because the trailer looked awesome. And so I was like, all right, dude, I like the original movie. They've had a few sequels that were pretty garbagey, but the first one is that, I own the soundtrack on vinyl, dude. Like, I love that movie. And for different reasons, it's on pink vinyl, and they made it with one Casio keyboard. That's enough reason for me to buy it. But yeah, it was so funny that they took the whole thing. We should watch it as a group one of these days. Maybe I'll pick it as a pick, because I want to get y'all's opinion on it. We might even do both if y'all don't mind. Put them on one week and just watch both movies, because I'd love to get some comparisons. As a matter of fact, I'll just table this conversation for them, because I will do that if you guys don't mind watching 2 movies. And I think it would be. I would love to get some conversation from you guys about that. But number 8.
I'm aware of the Summer Party series. I just haven't seen any.
Yeah, the first one's really quite good. The second one's like pretty decent. I think there's either 3 or 4, and I know the third one's garbage. Shit, there might be 3. Shit, I might be thinking of Sleepaway Camp, dude. I don't know what the fuck's going on with horror movies. There's too many of them. Number 8 was Antlers. I fucking love that movie, but it makes me really sad. Like,
yes. Very sad.
I'm like, that was awesome, but I need to go take a shower. Maybe have some sunshine in my day.
Yeah.
Because Josh pointed out something that, I already knew it, but I wasn't sure if I was just misunderstanding it. That is a dark, bleak movie. Man, it was fucking dark. But it's a horror movie about a big ass monster. It's a Wendigo movie, and it's got Felicity in it, and she's just as gorgeous as ever. And I thought she was a pretty good actor back then. She still holds her own now. Little kid did a pretty good job. The creature design was done by Mr. Del Toro, Benicio Del Toro, and it was fantastic. Yeah, enough said about that. Go watch it if you haven't seen it. If you're a horror movie fan, go watch Antlers. It's awesome.
Yeah, I made a point of watching it too, because I figured you were gonna bring it up.
Yeah,
I felt like it was a little almost too simple.
I can see that.
I wanted a little bit more, but
yeah,
I enjoyed it.
Makes sense.
I'll tell you what, though, when you bring that up, I think I'd rather have a little too simple than a little too complicated, especially for me. Maybe not for you. I know you're really good at deciphering things in movies, since we definitely view them from different vantage points. I'm not good at watching a really complex movie and just understanding all of it, especially on one viewing. Oftentimes when we talk, I have to ask you to explain stuff to me that I didn't understand in the first go around. And it's not because I'm stupid, because I'm not stupid. I just don't catch the same stuff. It's just what we're talking about. We had the same scenario, and I looked at it from a different viewpoint, and I got something different out of it. But Antlers was, I think it was a little simple, if you want to put it that way. Not necessarily in a negative light, but I think it could have been maybe beefed up a little bit and benefited from it. But I really enjoyed it a lot, and I think anybody that's a fan of horror stuff, excuse me, especially in a year like this where we had a lot of high grossing films, but they all sucked. So, this was one that didn't get a lot of love that I thought should have. If anybody out there wants to argue with me all day long about fucking Halloween Kills sucking complete ass compared to Antlers, dude, bring it. Because that movie fucking doesn't deserve the attention it got, and Antlers deserves more praise because it was really well done for what they had. And it was one that, honestly, it could have bombed, because we were waiting on that movie for like a year, dude.
Yeah.
When we saw the trailer for that, it was like a year ago, man. And so it could have really disappointed us, and I was a little nervous walking into the theater to watch it.
Yeah, it just didn't get talked about for like you said, like almost a year. And then
I was like, where is this damn movie? And it finally came out, and I was like, let's go.
Yeah, it's really good.
Number 7 is one that y'all are gonna be like, whoa. It's VHS 94.
Okay.
Man, that movie was badass, dude. I almost put it higher up on my list. I'll be honest, I had watched the first VHS movie, wasn't really a big fan, so I skipped the second and third one. And then this one came out, and I just happened to catch a trailer, and I was like, that looks really good. And I liked it so much that I went back and watched 1, 2, and 3 on like the same or within like 2 days. I watched all of them. It's got this really badass, like, I think it's Japanese. Pardon me if it's a different country over in Asia, but I think it's Japanese body horror like sequence, and it's like 15 to 20 minutes long. Do y'all know much about VHS?
I've heard of it. I did hear good things about this one too.
Oh, dude, it was so. Oh, did you really? I've heard. Man, I don't keep my ear to the street like I used to. I don't hear hardly anything about anything anymore now that I'm thinking about it. But it's like a what are they called? The when it's a bunch of different small stuff in one big movie. It's a
an anthology.
Thank you, an anthology movie. But
Yeah.
they approach it in a very unique way. It's all looks like it's on a VHS tape, so it's got the grain and some of the stripes, the lines across the screen. Not too much, but enough, to make it look like a VHS tape. The idea behind it is that somebody found a tape and they put it in, and this is what you're watching.
Right.
And so what happens is they'll start with a story, and like if you're not paying really close attention, all of a sudden you're in a different story because it morphs into different stories. It's not just here's the beginning, here's the end. Next story, here's the beginning, here's the end. This will be happening.
Like they were all just recorded on the same tape.
Yeah. This will happen, and then when you get to the middle of this, the thing that is ending this will be the beginning of the next story. And so it goes in and out, and it tells like 4 or 5 stories. So one of them is a big chunk, and it's this Japanese body horror. And it's, when I first saw it, I had to like rewind a few minutes of it to watch it because it looked like just really bad CG. And then I realized that that's just how that stuff's done, man. When you go watch Tokyo Gore Police, Machine Girl, Zombie Ass, all that stuff. Like when you go, I love Japanese movies. When you go watch these, they have these really bad CG in them. I think that's just how they do it. Like I don't think they care that it's bad CG. I think they just want you to say, well, no, this guy had a machine gun for an arm. We don't really care how it looked. It's just you need to know that that's what that was. Like they just want you to understand that that's what the character looked like. But no, he just blew everybody away. Well, yeah, it could have looked better, but it's still fake. You know it's fake, right? Well, yeah, no, it's fake. Well, then why does it need to look real? Why would I spend all that money on it? Like that's the way I feel that they look at it, and I don't have any problem with that. But there's practical mixed in with it, and it's just awesome. It's really cool, man. I think we should give that one a watch one of these days. Just maybe watch it. Honestly, the VHS series would be a really good one to watch at your house on the projector, Chris.
Cool.
Just because it feels like a projector type of movie to me.
Yeah. You talking about it makes it sound cool.
The first one and that one are really, really good. The two in the middle they were decent, but I was glad I went and watched them though.
I've heard really good things about that first one.
The first one's really good. I own at least one of them. I own the first two. And number 6 was Nightmare Alley for me.
Okay.
We've all established that we like noir. Nightmare Alley becomes a horror movie by the end of it. I want to be as vague as I can. I don't want to ruin anything for anybody, but there's stuff in it that happens in the second and third act that push it into that genre enough to where I think it falls into the category of horror, but very much on the gothic horror versus like gory horror stuff. There's a couple of really nice gory scenes in the movie because it's Del Toro stuff, and he kind of specializes in that. But my top 5 are just movies that are just more important to me. I don't know that I'll call them better. I don't looking at them. I don't think that any of them would maybe be objectively better movies. I think they're just subjectively better to me. So if I had to go with what was the best made movie this year, I think I would personally say Nightmare Alley was. from front to back, top to bottom, it was perfect. The acting, perfect. Casting, perfect. The visuals, perfect. Nothing about it would I change. Nothing, not anything. I want to watch it in black and white because he made one in black and white. But I tell you what, man, the intricacies that he was able to display, specifically in Kate Blanchett's office. I mean, it was immaculate. There was this movie was so well made that it kind of shocked me. Like, I left that movie in a great mood, man. I enjoyed every single second. I think it was a little bit long, but I enjoyed every second of it, man. Bradley Cooper, dude, I hope he gets some kind of accolades for this, man. Something, dude. At least a freaking high five from somebody, man, because like he acted his ass off in this movie. That guy is such a good actor. He's so good.
Yeah,
but
it was great. And Kate Blanchett was great, and she's always great. But
dude, even Ron Perlman with the small part he had, it really fit his style very well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, all the little bit characters like Willem Dafoe.
Yep,
Willem Dafoe's just so good,
dark and sinister, and I mean gothic. That's a really great description of this. It fits into that guy's filmography so well that I would say it's probably in his top 3 movies.
It's up there for me.
It's pretty close for me too.
Yeah, so I really enjoyed it. I hope it's on y'all's lists. I don't know if it is or not, but I hope it is. I almost had it in my top 5, but when I get to my top 5, y'all are going to know why it's not, because you're going to know exactly why these movies are in my top 5. So
okay,
that's my 10 through 6. Wrong Turn, Slumber Party Massacre, Antlers, VHS 94, and Nightmare Alley.
Okay.
Nice.
So my number 5 is No Time to Die.
The Bond
James
flick.
Bond.
I was like, oh.
Yeah, James Bond. I'm a gigantic James Bond fan. I grew up watching all the old Sean Connery movies as a kid, so just always loved James Bond. Most of them are not like very good movies.
Do you still really enjoy the Sean Connery stuff?
Most of the Sean Connery ones I like. Yeah,
I'd watch one of them just because you're my boy.
At least like the first 3 are really good.
You know what's gonna happen is I'm gonna watch one of those with you and be like, fuck, never mind, I like it now. Because my memories of it is not positive, but I know that's what's gonna happen, and I know it because I'm gonna foot in mouth, do it all the time.
Well, I mean, they are from a very different time, obviously, but I really enjoy those. And then there's a big gap after Sean Connery where most of them aren't that great. The Roger Moore era is not very good, but Daniel Craig really revitalized the series, and I've loved like the ones that Chris mentioned. Casino Royale and Skyfall are both like 9.95 movies for me.
High praise from you. You're pretty tough on movies usually.
Yeah, those. I mean, as far as like an action spy thriller, I think they're just like, I don't know what you can improve on those two, and this one is just like a hair below that, and it manages to tie up all of the loose ends and complete the character arc for Daniel Craig's run, because it's his final film. I don't know if you knew that, Randall.
I had heard that, but I had also heard some conflicting things, so I wasn't sure. So this is going to be his final one, huh?
It's a pretty definitive. Yeah.
I heard they were talking about Idris Elba, and then I also heard black female James Bond. I don't have any idea if either of those are true, but both of those intrigued me enough to where I was like, oh, interesting. I'm interested in seeing that.
Well, you got to watch it. It's definitely worth watching.
Who's the villain in it? Like, what person is actor? What actor?
What the hell is what is his name, Chris?
Rami Malek.
Rami Malek. Yeah.
That's right. Damn, I do want to watch this now.
Yeah.
He's not in it a lot, but
I just like that guy, man.
I've seen people complain that like, oh, he's the bad guy and he's barely in the movie. And
go watch any James Bond movie.
I was gonna say it's called James Bond, not villain.
Yeah. No, I think he's in it enough for a James Bond villain. And also you still get a little bit of leftover from Spectre in crap, what's his name?
Well, the character's name is Blofeld. It's the guy
Inglourious Bastards,
Inglourious Bastards.
completely. But Christoph Waltz.
Christoph Waltz, yes.
Yeah. So he's still kind of just has a presence over the movie as kind of the bad guy still. A little
So
bit.
should I go watch that one first and then this one?
I don't think it's that necessary.
Okay.
There'll be things that you don't like quite, that won't quite tie up for you, but they're small details that are not like integral to the plot.
Well, I own all of the other Daniel Craig on Blu-ray. I mean, I like them enough to watch them and own them all. I do appreciate those movies, and there's a couple, like you said, that I really do enjoy quite a bit. Yeah. But Christoph Waltz is badass, man. That dude's a really good actor.
He really is.
Man, I'm sorry I'm coughing so much.
Okay, no biggie. But yeah, it's it's a little bit too long. It's like 240. It's a little bit of a long movie. But it is also like it's trying to tie up all these things and also have, a new story.
Is this the one, or not? Is this the one? But in this one, did Billie Eilish do the theme?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that young lady's onto some pretty great things. I think she's awesome, dude. I really like her music a lot. But whenever I heard that she was doing a James Bond one, I was like, yeah, there you go. That's gonna put you in like a different category now, man. Not everybody gets to do that,
For sure. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm predicting she'll probably get the Oscar for that song.
Yeah.
I don't see anything else beating it, but we'll see.
For what's the category?
Well, the original song.
Original song. Okay.
Yeah. A lot of times, the Bond songs win.
They're usually pretty good.
I mean the Adele's. Well, I think the Spectre song won too, if I remember right. But
that's awesome.
But the Adele Skyfall song is that's a classic one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does everything it needs to do. It felt satisfying at the end, and the action is amazing. Like it's not reinventing anything, but it's all like really good, solid action. So it does.
I'd be disappointed if it wasn't.
Yeah, it did everything I wanted it to do. So,
yeah, sure. So my number 5, Licorice Pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Josh and I just watched it.
I was not expecting that to be on either of your lists.
I am very surprised that cracked my list because I
didn't really crack your list. It's in your top 5.
Yeah, like I wasn't expecting it to be on my list, but it was one of the last movies that I hadn't seen up until a couple days ago that I at least wanted to see.
So you got some recency bias going on.
I mean, I don't think so because I'm really not a big PTA fan. Like I like There Will Be Blood, and I know there's one or two other ones I've seen, but I've never been super crazy about. Like we just did Magnolia not too long ago, which I didn't particularly care for that much. So I wasn't expecting a whole lot out of this movie, but man, I had such a great time that, I mean, maybe it's a little fresh on my mind, but I absolutely think it would be on my list either way.
Okay.
It's fun, it's funny, and
I do have a little interest in watching it. I just don't see how it could possibly get close to my top 10 list. Yeah, but I do want to watch it though.
I'd be curious to see what you think about it because I don't think you'd hate it.
Yeah. No, the trailer looked interesting enough. I was actually surprised to see it was Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yeah.
So
it's a very different thing than what he's done for a while. It's a very laid back. It's a little bit higher on my list, just a little bit. But it's the opposite.
Oh, it's on your list?
Yes. Yeah.
Holy shit! Based on what you said about it, I didn't expect it to be on your top 10. I didn't get that feeling from you, but whatever. I don't care.
I watched it twice too, so that helped.
That'll change some shit when you watch a movie a second time.
Yeah, like I absolutely want to watch it again. It's one of those ones that like, man, that was such a good time. I want to do that again. So.
Right. It's just.
I'm
it's
so
just
sorry,
like a
guys.
It's okay. But it's a lot like something like American Graffiti or Dazed and Confused. It's just like a
Dazed and Confused. I really like. I don't recall liking American Graffiti very much, but I've only seen it once. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you watch American Graffiti and then watch Dazed and Confused, you're like, oh, that's where Richard Linklater got this movie.
Gotcha.
And it's basically just a hangout movie with a bunch of needle drops in it. It's like
there was another movie that came out that was very similar, and it was called was it called Everybody Get Some or some shit?
Everybody Wants Some.
Everybody Wants Some. Did you see that one? Did you like it?
Yeah, I like that one. Same director. It's like kind of a spiritual sequel to Dazed and Confused. I enjoyed it.
That was my next question. Okay, cool. Maybe I'm a little more interested in watching it. Dazed and Confused is one of the original soundtracks that I really liked.
Yeah,
like
that's a great soundtrack.
Like I had that one and Reservoir Dogs like when I was really young, and every song on both of them I was like, yeah. Like I wouldn't give a shit about Foghat if it wasn't for Dazed and Confused. Nice.
I really enjoyed it.
My number 5. Shout out to Josh Rubin, man. That guy is fucking awesome, and he's a champion for the little guy. And he has done my podcast twice, and he owes me nothing. So that guy's fucking amazing, dude. And he did Werewolves Within, and it was one that I was looking forward to because he had mentioned it the first time we talked. And if anybody's unfamiliar with him, he did a movie called Scare Me. I think it was last year in 2020. It was like a Shudder exclusive, and it was him and Aya Cash in the starring roles. And I thought, man, what this guy could do if he had just a little more money. And then he got a little more money, and he did the damn thing, man. He made this movie. It was still a small budget, but he was able to get a really good cast together. And he's I don't think he wrote this one, but he directed it. He wrote, directed, and starred in Scare Me, and that's, man, that's up to that guy. But I really enjoy talking to him, and you know, we may have some differences like ideal-wise, but I think overall, man, we got a lot in common, and he was a great dude to talk to, and I think that probably led to a little bit of my excitement for the movie. But when I watched it, shit, man, it was so good, dude. Like, it was such a great movie, man, and it's not perfect, but there's not much I would change about it. Like, I don't even want to tell you what I would change about it because it might ruin it. Have y'all both seen it?
No,
I haven't seen it yet. Yeah,
I'm kind of surprised that neither of y'all seen it.
Anyhow, to watch it, but
it's a solid flick, man. I'll wait until y'all watch it to tell you what I might change about it because it's a very small thing, but it would ruin something if I told you. So, but dude, it's a small town crime movie with werewolves. Like, how could you not like it? Like, and it's hilarious. Like, it's really funny. And the as a matter of fact, let me see here. Sorry, one second. Let me find it. I have a copy of it somewhere. I want to get this dude's name right. I can't remember his name. Here it is. I don't buy enough movies, guys. Sam Richardson's his name. Okay. And then Milana Vantrub. Anybody know who Milana Vantrub is?
Yeah, she's the AT&T girl.
Oh, yes, she is. My goodness, that woman. Anyhow, this dude that's in it, I don't know, man. It's like this guy becomes a sheriff of some small snowy town, and he goes in to just kind of have like kind of a easy gig, you know, and he meets the male girl, and that's the girl that plays the AT&T young lady, and all of a sudden, just like shit starts getting ripped apart in the town, like physically, like torn, like AC units got like holes ripped in them, and they're like, what in the fuck is going on? And then like electricity goes out because this shit gets, you know, torn up at the house, and it's like, it's werewolves. Very obviously it's werewolves. And people are like, there's no way it's werewolves. They're not real. And the guy's like, well, what's this? And he's got like, you know, it's just nuts, dude. It's silliness, man. It's a really great movie. It won't scare little kids too bad, so you can have like your 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds watch it with you. There's not too much adult stuff in it. It's just really well made. Fantastic movie. And if he, for some reason, ever sees this video, man, fucking can't wait for your next one, dude. That guy's awesome. So that movie was I'll just tell you, it's higher on my horror list because there's a couple movies on here that won't qualify for that list, but I loved that movie. I was very excited to get a physical copy of it. So
nice. Yeah, it looked like a fun time.
You won't like it as much as me, but you'll enjoy it. I'm positive you will. It's one of those ones. I think that Nathan and Bricken should watch it with us, dude. It's not too scary. It's a really funny movie though.
Okay, cool. My number 4.
Yeah, number 4.
Yeah, number 4 is Nightmare Alley.
As is mine.
No shit, Nightmare Alley number 4. close enough. I was 6.
Okay.
I'm surprised you had it kind of that low. I figured you would have it in your top 5 at least.
When I get to 4, 3, 2, and 1, you'll understand why.
I mean, I know
it was
for
tough.
sure.
It started at like 3, and then it was like, damn it, bumped it up. Shit, bumped it up. And then Werewolves Within, it's too much. It's more my kind of movie.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, it's understandable. Yeah, for me, I felt walking out of the theater like it was perfect.
We both had a glow. Like, we were so excited when we left.
Yeah, I was grinning. It was just like exactly what I wanted from it. When we all watched the classic version before we saw the new one too, so we all sort of knew what we were getting into. But we all, have come around on Del Toro.
Even I've come around on her stuff and completely I've now understood it and can appreciate it more. Dude, y'all remember back when we first started this podcast?
Yep.
Yeah, that was like one of the first 2 people we covered. I think it was the second one. We went with
well, me and you did Bong Joon-ho, and then
I wasn't on that
when
one.
Chris started hanging out with us, we started doing
Del Toro movies.
Toro movies. So like, that guy's always gonna like rock with me anyways, because he got me going on this channel really, and got me hanging out with you guys watching movies. So I'm always gonna have a little special spot just because. But
Sure.
Yeah, dude, this movie, I'm so happy that we all got to watch this one in the theater together, because I'll be honest, man, most of the time, if I had to choose, would you rather watch a movie with Chris and Josh or with Carissa? I'm gonna pick Carissa. It's my wife. She's my best friend. Like, that's my partner, dude. Like, that, I love that she'll watch this stuff with me. Like, just in general, right? But this one, for whatever reason, it fit all of our wheelhouses so perfectly that I was like, let's go. And I wouldn't have changed anything, man. I had a fucking blast with you guys, man. That was one of the best memories of the whole year for me.
Yeah. I just walked out of it just like grinning.
Dude, I was like, we were both looking like dorks, dude. I was just excited. Like, I was just in a great mood.
Every bit of casting.
It is not a happy ending.
Oh, it is.
We're like, hooray for bleakness. Let's go.
Yeah. Oh, it's an amazingly dark ending, and it's exactly what I wanted.
Yep.
And it just, like, every bit of casting, every bit of just every technical aspect of it is so beautiful.
How damn pretty was that movie, man?
I would went and listened to the score, like, after I watched the movie. Like, the music good. I mean, everything about it, I just really, really enjoyed. I need to
listen to the score. I've been listening to a lot of non-vocal music lately, and I think it might lean me towards scores a little more. I don't know that I'll ever like them as much as you do, but I listen to a lot of like stuff without lyrics in it because it helps me concentrate.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm interested in.
It's a good score.
I need to go listen to that. I mean, I like scores, not as much as Josh, but I like scores.
Josh, you enjoy scores quite a bit, huh?
Yeah, I do.
Like, I hear you say that frequently enough to where I know that's something that you enjoy.
Mm-hmm. I almost leaned over and said it to you in the theater because I was like, there's a couple moments in the movie I was like, oh, the music is so good.
Damn it, I wish I'd have paid closer attention to it, but I was so wrapped up in the story, man.
Yeah.
Like, I was so enthralled. Like, I was woven into the fabric of that movie, dude. Like, and it happened quick, man. When that movie started, I was just in it, dude. I was so, and we had good seats too. Like, we were like kind of close, so we were like kind of wrapped up in it, you know. Kind of like today where we were sitting close enough, but it's good. Alamo Draft House. Anybody that doesn't go there, man, I'm sorry. You should try to find one. If there's one in your city, man. They arrange their seats in a way that no seat. We were talking about this earlier today. Josh and I went and saw The Kingsman, and we were kind of noticing that like nowhere in there is like a bad spot to sit. Like, even if you're all the way to the left or right, and in the front row, it's still far enough away and at just the right angle to where you're not just like this. You're just still watching it ahead of you comfortably. And their chairs, I didn't know this until today. Row 2 leans way further back than row 4 or 5. So,
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, well, I sit in row 4 a lot, or I used to. I sit in row 3 most of the time now when it's in the bigger theater. But it definitely sat back probably another, 4 inches. Like, I was way back, and I was like, that's what's up. It was they spent their time designing this theater, and so the whole experience of that place is great. And watching Nightmare Alley in there was just nice, man. It's a good treat, dude. That's the kind of shit that makes me want to make sure that theaters are still around. Most of this stuff I could have watched at home. Shit, most of it I did watch at home. No, about half of it I watched at home. And I'm fine with that. I don't have any issue with it at all. But movies like Nightmare Alley need to be seen in a theater. Yeah. Just like Logan, Spiderman, shit, dude. Honestly, a couple of the other ones we're talking about, man. But Nightmare Alley is made for a big screen, dude. Like,
and unfortunately, almost no one's going to see it on theater.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Because Spider-Man buried it.
But it buried a lot of movies, man. Yeah. Anything that came out in December, I kind of feel bad for.
Yeah, I feel bad for Del Toro because it's such a great movie. It's just like horrible timing.
Well, it's funny because we were talking about how Spider-Man was burying movies, and I've already made up my mind that when Nightmare Alley comes out, I'm going to buy 3 copies of it. So I'm going to buy one for me. I'm going to buy one just to throw it in the store and make sure another one got bought. I don't need to make money on it. I just want to have it in the store. And I'm going to buy one to give away on our channel because I want people to watch this movie, dude. Like, I might even buy a Criterion copy and make a little package and do a giveaway thing. And like, people need to know about this. This movie is there. It's one of the greats as far as noir is concerned. Noir's got a lot of good movies, but I wouldn't call a lot of them great. Like, they're all pretty similar. This one's fucking great, in my opinion. Anyway,
it's a different type of noir. It's like it doesn't fall into the traditional like just private eye gumshoe.
Well, it's also got like some like weird freak show type shit in it, and
yeah,
it's also got a good love story in it. Some good deceit, you know.
The darker edge to it a little bit. Yeah, it's a great movie.
I agree. Yeah, that was my number 4 too. So.
Oh, okay? That's what I thought you said, but I was like, oh, shit, did he say that or not? Okay, well, my number 4 was Last Night in Soho.
Okay.
I every single thing about that movie I liked. Like, even the shitty CG ghost thing that was in there. Like, after like thinking about it, I think I might have talked to you about it, Josh. I think it was on purpose. Like, I think that because everything else was pretty deliberate, so I'd be a little surprised if that wasn't as well.
There's some like dream sequence stuff, and a lot of that is where the CG is.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not made to look realistic. It's made to look like sort of a weird dreamscape.
Yeah.
So it didn't bother me that much.
But the story was so dang cool that that one might end up flip-flopping with Nightmare Alley, like back and forth, I guess, but so Nightmare Alley's more beautiful, but Last Night in Soho is prettier, like bar none for me, because in my opinion, beautiful comes with like ornate shit and like rich dark colors. Pretty is like pinks, purples, blues, big palettes of color, and that's what Last Night in Soho is. And honestly, that's what I prefer. If I was to pick one, right, I'm going with the big splash colors. I mean, you see, I got pink shit everywhere.
It's
but Last Night in Soho
it's not in a bad way, but it's flashier. It's more up.
Yeah. And so, and also the females in Last Night in Soho, quite a bit higher than the ones in Nightmare Alley. Boy, are they good looking, man. That don't hurt the screen much, you know. But yeah, we already talked about it mostly, so not much to say about it other than I really enjoyed it, and it's another one that I was nervous about. So I was like, okay, this looks like it's going to be really good, and it lived up to the expectations as far as I'm concerned. And I even got a big ass poster for that one. I wasn't able to get one for Nightmare Alley. I was kind of bummed out.
My number 3 is Licorice Pizza.
Damn, that's way high, man. That's crazy. Now you really got me wanting to watch this shit, you guys.
I think you'll enjoy it. It's like like I said, we kind of said it earlier already. It's just a fun hangout movie. It's like it's the opposite of his last few movies where like There Will Be Blood or something is like this slow, tense movie.
Yeah, bro.
It's the opposite. It's like just like completely, I mean, almost plotless. It's just like it floats through these kids' lives as they're hanging out for summer. It has a great soundtrack. They get into it's just them getting into one just mischief, weird subplot, and all the little like cameos. There's like several big actors that show up in it.
Oh, that's cool.
Like Sean Penn is in the movie for a few minutes.
Love Sean Penn.
Bradley Cooper shows up for a few minutes and basically steals the movie. It
really does.
It's insanely it's worth watching, Randall, for that one.
Oh,
scene.
I love Bradley Cooper, so I'm in.
It's absolutely absurd and incredible. It's like that scene is like the highlight of the movie.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just I was a little bit not disappointed, but it wasn't quite what I wanted, I guess, when I left the first time. Because I'm y'all know I'm a huge Paul Thomas Anderson fan.
Yeah.
He's like in my top 2 or 3 directors.
I was a little nervous for you when
time.
I was made aware that it was his movie. I was like, shit, I hope it's good for Josh. Like, I know you care about that guy's movies.
Yeah. And it definitely does feel like his movie, but it is his most like laid back, just joyful.
It'll probably end up being my favorite one of his movies then. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean it has the upbeat, fun nature of like the first half of Boogie Nights or something. Like it's like
Boogie Nights is probably my favorite one actually.
I was gonna say Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
It has a lot of similarities with that too.
Yeah,
really.
Just the fun times of Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio, like very different set of actors and actresses.
So who is the lead girl in that movie? Is she related to somebody?
Well, her name is Alana Haim. She's a musician. She's in the band.
Dude, she's like ugly hot.
Right. That's
yes.
She's Jewish.
Oh man, it's not what I really meant, but yeah, that'll work.
They even make a joke in the movie, like, you have a very Jewish nose. Like, she's she's like very, I mean, and she kind of becomes the main character in the movie, honestly.
It seemed that way off the trailer to me.
It really like starts out as Cooper Hoffman, Philip Seymour Hoffman's son. It feels like his movie starting out, and then it really sort of shifts, at least in my opinion, it kind of shifts to her movie. And yeah, they're both just kids finding their way through life and getting into trouble, and it's
so it's gonna be one of the movies that makes you reminisce
a little bit. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a nostalgic movie. It's like, it's looking back at the different time, and it's beautiful. If I had to pick my favorite cinematography for a movie, it would actually be this one. I think
I have no clue what my answer to that question would be. It'd probably be Nightmare Alley, because I recognized it in that one.
Yeah, I think Nightmare Alley is like more intricate and like purposeful, but there's something about like the way
honestly, shit, dude, that's the only redeeming quality of Malignant. The fucking cinematography. On second watch, I actually kind of liked it more. Because the first time I watched it, I didn't care at all. But that was pretty unique. It was James Wan. So he
has a great style.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring that bag of shit up again.
But yeah, it's just I'm definitely biased. I know that, but
you're bi?
Thought we established this earlier with Titan.
Let's go. That's funny.
Coming all the way out today. That's what's up.
Me too. Flop.
But yeah, I don't really
table. I'm sorry, Josh.
It's all right. I don't really have anything else to say about it. It's just,
Well, I'm definitely gonna go watch it now. You guys have convinced me it's worth my time.
Yeah. I really think it is. Yeah, very, very surprising to me. So my number 3 is Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure me and you are probably pretty close on this. I mean, it's
the movie that's the one that made me fucking cry. I cried like 4 times in that movie. I couldn't help it, dude. I watched it on the Thursday it came out, and I got so all right, hold on. Spoiler alert, motherfuckers. If you guys already watched Spider-Man, dude.
Yeah.
I got so overwhelmed when Andrew Garfield came on the screen that I literally could not help myself. I was pouring fucking tears, dude. And then when Tobey Maguire came out, I literally couldn't watch the damn movie. I was crying so hard, and I was just clapping, dude. I was like, I didn't think I'd even care. I'll be honest, dude. I didn't think I'd care at all. And then when he catches old girl, I started crying. When Aunt May died, I started crying. Peter Parker's on the damn fucking thing. I started crying. When they all jumped in the air with their suits on, I was like, oh, why? Why are you doing this to me? Dude, everybody was crying. My whole row was crying, dude.
Yeah.
The theater erupted into fucking applause like 4 times. I went and saw it with Josh. It was like nothing happened. Nobody gave a shit. It was weird, man. Weird.
Yeah, I mean, just the scene with Tom Holland while Aunt May is dying. You said it a second ago, so it's not a spoiler anymore. But man, that is a tough scene. Like, yeah, I think pretty much everybody cried in my showing as well.
Dude, that movie was so badass, dude. It was like it reinvigorated like my desire to see big budget movies. You guys know for like the last 2 years, dude, I haven't given a shit about big budget movies. Like I haven't cared about any Avengers stuff. I just don't care about it, man. This one reignited that. Now I don't think I'm gonna care about going and seeing the Eternals, but like, man, if there's another, dude, I don't give a fuck, dude. If Venom comes out with a 3rd movie, I'm going to watch it in the theaters, dude. Like it reminded me of, dude, my kid's name is Parker. We named him after Spider-Man. Like it reminded me why I love comic books. Like it honestly, I'm getting emotional talking about it, dude. Like one of the reasons that I opened my goddamn store was because of that character. Like my whole life has been a Spider-Man character. Like it's been my shit, dude, my whole life. I've got stuff in my room right now that I've had since I think 92, 94, somewhere in that neighborhood, that I've, stuff that my mom kept for me. Like, check this out. I'll show y'all one thing that's cool. I think you guys have seen this before, but this is the last remaining thing that I've got from my childhood that hasn't been like lost in a flood or something, right? My mom gave me this. I want to get it graded, but can y'all see that?
Yeah.
I don't want to touch it too much because I don't want to get any fingerprints on it, but that is definitely signed.
Mm-hmm.
And I had this in like a box, like, stashed away because it's probably fairly valuable, at least a few $100, I would think. It's in immaculate condition, so I know if I get it graded, it's going to score at least a 9.90, 9.5, somewhere in that neighborhood. I like made me pull this out and like put it back on my wall on my shelf. Like that movie fucking blew my mind, dude. I was almost not gonna go see it. I was this close to being like, I don't give a shit. I bought tickets to see it the day I saw it. Like I didn't care. I wasn't gonna go see it, dude. I was like, I don't give a shit. I don't like these big fucking movies anymore. I don't care about Marvel. And then something was like, no, dude, you need to go watch this. Like, because I didn't think that the other 2 guys were going to be in it. I just was pretty convinced they weren't. I was like, okay, everybody was just talking about it. And I was thinking like, yeah, why would they be in it? Yeah, Tobey Maguire is getting a little older, but dude, he fucking did a perfect job. Andrew Garfield stole the damn movie, dude. He was so good.
Yeah,
So,
I had a lot of like just worries about the movie because like, I mean, I'm similar with you with Spider-Man. Like my love for comics and a lot of that stuff is all based off of Spider-Man. So is by far my favorite comic book character.
Yeah.
So
by a long shot.
I had a lot of just, I don't feel the same way about the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies as a lot of people seem to these days.
Oh no, dude, they're not even. I only care about them because of what they mean to Spider-Man. Like I rewatched them this week, and I don't like them any better than I did. I think that the stuff I like and don't like about number 3 has kind of switched a little bit, but like I don't have any more. I just watched them because I wanted the kids to watch them and I wanted to watch them. But like it's more like I watched those movies when I was a young man, and to watch him come into something that I do fucking love, because dude, I don't give a shit what anybody says. Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man. Zendaya is a better MJ than anybody could have fucking imagined. And I mean, dude, all the little people in this movie were perfect, dude. The only Spider-Man movie that I can name that's better than this was Into the Spider-Verse. That's a perfect movie, though. It doesn't even. It's not just a perfect Spider-Man movie. It's a perfect movie. You can't improve upon that. This one, there were things you could improve upon. I just don't give a shit because it's nostalgic and I liked it. I had fun watching it. You know, there's a few things that I could go, whatever. I don't give a fuck, dude.
Yeah.
It was just, it was so fucking much fun, man.
Yeah, I mean, we can nitpick some plot things, and I know Josh doesn't have the Spider-Man connection like we do. So,
no,
I mean, I'm sure he could pick out some few.
There was a couple years where Batman was my guy, but even then, I was still buying more Spider-Man stuff.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I don't give a shit about anything wrong with it. Like,
yeah, I don't care at all.
To have a movie make you feel like that is something special.
I haven't felt like that since Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
I had the same feeling when I left the theater. Like, I watched Into the Spider-Verse 4 times in the theater, and only one of those was with anybody besides myself. Wait, I mean, maybe twice. Yeah. Did I see that with y'all too? Fuck, I can't remember.
Did we see it
I know I watched it by myself at least twice.
Yeah. I don't remember. But yeah, this is the best live-action Spider-Man movie.
Oh, dude, it's probably top 3 live-action comic book movies for me. Yeah, and not because objectively well made. It's just sheer, did I like it better? Yeah. You know, I don't think it's number 1, but it's way up there, man. Like, I think my favorite might be Civil War because that's when he shows up.
Yeah,
dude, you want to talk about motherfuckers just for no reason crying? Dude, I was like, oh, finally! Oh my god! Like, you know, if they ever have an X-Men movie crossover with Avengers, I'll probably start crying on that too. And I don't give a shit about the X-Men. It just needs to happen. Like, quit fucking around, people. Put Wolverine in there with Iron Man. Stop being assholes. I don't care about the fucking timeline or what makes any sense. Just make the damn movie, please. Like, come on.
If that guy ever shows up, like, I'll be the only grown man crying at Galactus.
Dude, I would be pretty psyched to see Galactus, but not like Wolverine needs to be in there with the Incredible Hulk at least one time. Like, just even for a minute, dude. Like, the fact these people are all so much about money that they can't make something that everybody on the planet would love is so fucking annoying, dude. Like, get over yourselves for just a minute, please. And I feel like that's what they did with this movie. That's exactly what I felt like when I was watching it. I was like, oh my god, they did something for us and not them finally. Like, I'm getting emotional talking about it, dude. Like, I felt like, oh my god, this was made for me. This wasn't made for them to make money, even though they're gonna bank off of it, but they made it for me and for my kids and for like, they made it for us to talk about. Like, this was made for people. Sure, they're gonna make money, and they probably wouldn't have done it if they weren't gonna make money, but they did it. And I'm like, man, if you'd have asked me 3 years ago, hey, what's the likelihood that all 3 Spider-Men show up in one movie? I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
0.
Yeah, really.
Not a chance that's happening, you know? And then they throw Tom Hardy at the end of that movie, and I was like, oh, fuck, dude. If Venom shows up with Tom Holland, I don't give a fuck, bro. If it's a terrible movie, I'm gonna call it number 1 of the decade, bro. Venom needs to be in a fucking Spider-Man movie. Like, quit bullshitting, man. Like, if they do some kind of Spider-Man 300 homage as a scene, I'm gonna puke in my chair, dude. Like, dude, I might get an erection. Like, that might happen. But yeah, dude, Spider-Man was the shit, sir.
Yes, it was.
But it's not my number 3. My number 3 is Pig. It was a perfect movie. Nick Cage is awesome. Let's move on.
Yeah, it is a perfect movie.
It's fucking awesome, dude. The movie's amazing. Like, if you haven't seen Pig, go watch it. You'll like it. It's a fucking good movie. If you don't like Pig, you don't like good movies. It is what it is, dude.
Yeah.
Not Lamb, good. Pig. Not Lamb, Pig.
Lamb is a very different movie.
A little bit. Yeah.
So my number 2 is The Green Knight.
I was thinking that was going to be number 2. I don't know what. No, I was thinking that might be your number 1, actually. Look, I don't know what's going on right now.
My 1 and 2 could probably flip flop.
Yeah.
Depending on what day you ask.
Pretty sure we have the exact same 1 and 2, but flip flopped.
Yeah.
Man, I know I'm going to feel stupid when you tell me yours, Chris, because I'm trying to figure out what the fuck you're talking about. What?
I said no. Do you want to say anything about Green Knight? Because yeah, I mean it's my number 1.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say anything about it because I don't have anything positive to say about it.
Yeah, I honestly, like, as it faded in my memory, I think I wasn't sure if I liked it as much as I initially did. So it started to drop on my list a little bit, and then I watched it again a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
And it went like straight back up to the top, basically.
Yeah.
I love it. It's very slow. It's very contemplative. It's it's a morality tale. It's a cautionary tale.
Yeah.
But I just love it. It's beautiful and it's
it was
weird.
fucking pretty, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Look, I gotta say it now. I'm a naturally antagonistic person. That movie's fucking dreadful, dude. I hated it. It's fucking boring. But it was probably, that might be one of the top cinematographies for me of the year, because I'm not a dumbass. Like, I know how pretty that movie was. It just was so excruciatingly boring. I just couldn't. But it just wasn't made for me, man. When I saw the trailer, it looked like it was. So it is what it is, dude. I don't take it personally. I don't hold it against them. I hope they make more movies because it was really great to you guys, and y'all are my friends. So, the fact that you enjoyed it, I like to antagonize people, but I want you to enjoy your movies. Like, I'm not a fucking complete piece of shit or anything. But I was trying to not say it, and then you start talking, and I was like, I gotta say it now. I gotta say how much I hated it. So I don't know what it is in my brain that makes me do that. My apologies, sir.
It's okay. We knew it was coming. I think it's like the perfect. It's the antithesis of the hero's journey. It's like this guy.
I need to rewatch it again, probably, and just kind of. I need to learn more about the story first, because that's what lost me. Is I had no clue what was going on, because they make a bunch of assumptions in that movie that kind of what the story's about, and I had zero idea what the story was about. And so
it doesn't explain anything to you. You really have to come to it.
Yeah, and it really, like I was mentioning earlier about how I don't grasp stuff in movies. Well, that completely ruins it for me, because whatever that is that people have, I don't have it. And when I was watching it, I was just, the whole time I was just lost, kind of. Like, I kind of understood what was going on, but I didn't know why. Mm-hmm. And then sometimes I would understand something that was like why something was happening, but then I didn't really understand what was actually going on. And I was like, fuck, dude. There was like a few times where I was just like, literally, I would just like nodded off. Like, I was just so like,
yeah.
But it was deliberately made that way. It's not like I was watching it and it was an accidental mistake of a movie.
Mm-hmm.
It was extremely deliberate in the way it was made. And so for that, I have to give it credit. I have to, as a film fan, as a movie fan, as a person that spends a lot of my time doing this stuff. I can't say that it was poorly made. I just didn't like it. So, a lot of people can't separate those two things, and then they get really upset when you say you didn't like something. And I'm like, I never said it was poorly made, dude. I didn't say it was objectively bad. I said it sucked. Those are different, man. Like, no, you saying it sucked means that it's bad. No, dude, like that. God, I fucking hate people sometimes, But, we used to have a lot harder time talking about this stuff, though, as like a trio.
Yeah.
Way harder a year ago to talk about stuff like this that was divisive between us. And, I'm actually glad that that's not the case anymore,
Luckily, the accents are really good in this movie.
The what were? The accents?
The accents.
Oh, they were fucking amazing, dude. Almost as good as The Devil Inside was bad.
Devil All the Time?
Devil All the Time. Devil Inside, what is that?
Some shitty horror movie, I think.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Devil All the Time, dude. You know what's funny is that I just read that fucking book, and I couldn't remember the name of it. Or read the book, Audible. That book was good. It's probably better than the movie. Maybe.
Yeah.
The movie's pretty good. I gotta shut my mouth.
You want to talk about it now, Chris?
No, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it is my number one. I've seen it 3 times. I think it's the only movie I've seen more than once this year.
Ooh, my number 2 I've seen about 5 times.
But yeah, I love it. I mean, I love everything about it. I love movies that just make you think afterwards about it, and like I just couldn't get it out of my head after watching it.
Me neither. I was perplexed as to why anybody enjoyed it.
I mean, I watched it again, and same thing. Like, just think about it for days. I listened to the score. I've listened to the score a bunch of times. Like, it's just one of those movies that sticks with me.
Dude, I kind of enjoy that you like it that much. To be honest, that's awesome. Yeah. Like, I'm not a hater. I'm just a shithead. I'm stoked that you like it that much. That's cool, man. There's very few things that get me that excited in life.
Yeah. I love it. It will probably go on my all-time top 10
Holy shit.
at some point. Like,
That's a bold statement, dude.
I kind of don't like putting like recent things
It's hard.
on there.
That's a hard conversation.
I want to just give it a little bit more time to just, give it a couple of years or whatever, and just see how I feel about it later. But dude, if I was making it today, it would go on. That's
exactly why Scream is still my #1 horror movie and Terrifier is #2, because I always want to say Terrifier, but I'm like, I gotta wait a little while longer. Let me wait a little longer. Let it be out 5, 6, 7 years. But my #2 is fucking Psycho Gore, man. It's the shit. Movie's fucking badass. If you don't like Psycho Gore, man, you're fucking stupid.
It was fun.
It was very fun.
Yeah, the movie's so insane, dude. I've seen it so many times. I love that movie. I've got like multiple posters. I've got the soundtrack. It's basically what Chris is talking about with the Green Knight. I'm talking about with Psycho Gore, man. And it very well might end up on my all-time top 10, dude. Like, legitimately, it's probably close. It's probably in my top 15 of all time. I love that movie to a pretty stupid degree. Like, and I understand why some people would just ignore that and go, you're an idiot. But I fucking love that movie, man. Every single thing about that movie is right up my alley. Like, they made that like, yo, there's this dude in Houston named Randall. He's gonna really like this movie, so let's go ahead and make it like this for him. All right, cool. The one thing we can do for this poor guy is let's let him have this movie. When I saw the trailer, I was like, oh shit. And I haven't waited that antsy for a movie probably ever, dude. I was like, fucking hurry up, dude. 2 weeks? God damn it, man. And then I went and saw it, and like the next day I went and saw it again. I was like, this is fucking amazing.
I mean, you managed to convince me to go to it, so.
Dude, right?
That's a feat.
Dude, so the fact that it was made by the same people that made The Void tells me that anything that they make, I'm gonna watch, because they couldn't be further from each other as far as style of movie, and they're both probably in my top 10 favorite movies, period. Like, I love those movies. For sure, The Void's in my top 10 horror movies, like, permanently. It'll never leave. It's just pretty perfect, man. Aside from slashers, it's probably, like, outside of slasher movies, it's probably my favorite horror movie. But this movie's like somebody that was between the ages of 38 and 48 that grew up the same way I grew up, watching the same shit I watched, got a budget and made a movie. That's what happened. It was just like, how silly could we make it? How much cool, like, excuse me, practical effects can we use? And how much, like, 80s era weird CG shit can we use without it looking like bad? Like, oh, this is how much? All right, let's do it. All right, we want to make our monster look like Skeletor with no costume on. Like, he looks like, I don't know what to call it, dude. I mean, there's shit in this movie that just doesn't even make sense, which is why it's so fun. Like, they turn this kid into like a fucking brain meatball situation, but they never address it, and he never changes back. He's like at his parents' dinner table eating it. They don't even talk about it. And that's the kind of stuff that I love, because it's so fucking absurd. That how do you get mad at that? People that get mad at that, this is my, like, I use this for my bullshit meter. I'm like, all right, you think that's stupid? Well, I don't want to talk to you then, because you don't get it. Like, it's supposed to be fucking stupid. It's not supposed to make sense. The silly grin Josh has right now, that's what this movie's about. It's the silly grin, dude. Like, that was fun. Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, the most fun movie I had this year was Psycho Gore, man. Fun-wise, probably beat out Spiderman. Like, just sheer fun, dude. 10 out of 10 for me. But that's my #2. If that doesn't tell you what my #1 is, then you weren't paying any attention.
Yep. My #1 is Dune.
Motherfucker, Dune. That's what it was. I'm sitting here trying to figure it out. Dune. I forgot Dune came out.
Yeah, and I couldn't decide whether I wanted it to be #1 or #2. I mean, but ultimately, there's nothing I would change about this movie. The only like knock I can give it is that it's not complete. It's half of the movie.
At least it's got Zendaya in it.
It does.
It does.
Man, she's fun.
It does. But yeah, I think it's perfect. It's like exactly what I wanted from it. I read the book before I saw the movie, and then right after I watched the movie, I went and read the book again, and I just love it.
That's so crazy, man. There's so many movies on y'all's list that I never even watched this year. I did want to see Dune, though. I still want to.
I
it was not a question of desire. I wanted to watch it. I just didn't have the time when it was out.
It's the only movie on my list that I've seen 3 times.
Golly, you've seen it 3 times, huh?
Yeah. I watched it at the theater with Chris, and then watched it on HBO Max a couple of times. And
damn, I really want to watch that way more now. That's awesome. I was pretty interested in it when I saw the trailer. I thought it looked really great, but I don't know much about Dune. So like, it wasn't high on my priority to-do list because I just, I don't know much about the story in general. So like, I just thought, oh, that looks really fucking good. I want to see it with Bricken because he's super into Star Wars now after watching the original trilogy. Actually, I'll talk about that for a minute after we're done with this because I got a cool story for anybody that's watching this still. I got to do something really neat with my kids this week, and it'll be a forever memory because it was for a reason. I don't even know if you guys know. You probably do, but I mean, what I did, but I don't know if you know why. But anyways, dude, I want to check that out. So that was your number 2, Chris, right?
Yeah, so that was my number 2.
And so y'all were just flip-flopped on 1 and 2?
Yeah. I did.
My list is so dumb.
Yeah, I did watch it. I watched that one twice. So I misspoke a minute ago when I said Green Knight was the only rewatch, but I did watch Dune twice. I forgot I watched it again.
And it's only so it's only the half the story, huh?
Yes. So it's half of the first book.
That's gonna bother me if I watch it. Oh wow, I still want to watch it, but it's gonna irritate me.
Yeah, I mean they did, like, when the movie came out, it was still kind of like a question mark if they were gonna just keep making them or make a second one at least. And they did greenlight it after it did fairly well at the box office. So
yeah, imagine by the time the next one comes out, we'll hopefully have this situation a little more buckled down, and people will be able to go to the theater. Well, because think about it, when Dune came out, it still wasn't like it is now. People are going to the theater in droves now. They weren't doing it when Dune came out. It's only been a few months. So hopefully when it comes out, by the time that happens, we'll have the world in a little bit safer place and people can comfortably go and they'll make some money. Because I mean, based on solely the trailer, it looked beautiful, and I know it wasn't cheap to make. So I love this stuff like anybody else that loves movies. There's not anybody that loves movies more than me. So I want everybody that's making this stuff to get the money and the recognition that they deserve, especially if you're doing something on a scale like that. Dude, they put the work in, man. They couldn't control what happened in the world. Sometimes you have to get a pass, man. You have to get a pass. Yep. And I think sometimes these places and these companies, these corporations, these studios, they don't want to do it, and it doesn't make any sense. When it's out of your control, you have to stop looking at the dollars. You have to look at how was the end product? Was it something that people loved? Did people enjoy it? Well, yeah, but not enough people. How do you fucking know? Not enough people didn't get to see it yet. Like, sometimes you have to fucking
and they delayed it for an entire year. It's supposed to come out.
So I mean, like,
December
sometimes you have to just say, okay, is this a passion project? Do we love this enough to put our money up for it, regardless of the outcome? I do that all the time, as I'm sure you guys do too with things. Like, whatever it is that I'm doing, sometimes I just put my money up and I go, nope, I just love doing this. I buy things for the channel sometimes that I shouldn't buy, or for the store where I know I'm not gonna make any money on it, but I love having that particular thing in my store. And sometimes I give a customer a discount that makes me take a loss. I like the conversation. I like the experience more than I like making the money. So, I think that these people, sometimes they need to get a pass, and it pisses me off when all it ever talks about is the fucking the dollar. Man, I'm so sick of hearing it. Like, yes, we understand you have to make money. That's a given. Sometimes you can't. That doesn't mean you should give up. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a romantic.
And sometimes too, just like, if Denis Villeneuve wants to make, 2 movies out of a one book, it's like, you just got to do it. And if the first one just doesn't do as well, you just got to commit to that second one.
Should do sometimes the second one can be so damn good that it rejuvenates the sales in hard copy of the first one, and that makes up some of your money. Because I mean, at $30 a piece, it doesn't take a lot to make $1 million. So, if you can keep selling those, you can hopefully make some of your money back. Maybe not all of it, but and you end up maybe breaking even, but having something that lasts forever to be proud of. And I don't know. It's just like sports, dude. It ain't all about the money. Quit bailing on your team for the dollar. Go for legacy, man. You're not talking about MMA where you're getting brain damage every time you play. You're talking about basketball, baseball, football, soccer, whatever. I wish there was more. I guess the loyalty is the word, man. I guess there was more loyalty in the world with movies. I mean, the loyalty is to the fans. We deserve it. We've been going and paying for these movies for our whole lives. And, you know, if I had to go watch all these movies that I don't care to see in order to make a point, I would. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I had more time, I would go see more movies. Now that that thing with Alamo's back, I'm making sure my pass gets scanned as many times as I can every month. Hey, this guy's seeing these movies. He's watching all of them. He's watching everything. I'll go watch whatever. I don't give a shit. That's why we went and watched that movie today. We weren't sure if it was going to be any good. We had a good time watching it. It wasn't on our top 10 list, you know, but it was fun. But I'm glad I went. I want them to know that we cared enough to go spend our time in the theater watching it. And that's what my number one, Spider-Man, No Way Home. That movie was far and away the best movie of the year for me. For me, it was not as objectively well made as some of the others.
Yeah.
But it was so, it hit me in a place that I haven't been hit in my heart in a long time, man. And it, like I said earlier, it rejuvenated my love for superhero stuff, you know, and that matters because I got a kid named after one, and I had a store, and I still am in that community to a certain degree. And like, honestly, it's kind of a bummer thinking that I don't sell comics anymore. I think about it pretty frequently. Whatever, but you know, I'm still in the media and entertainment and pop culture that'll always be part of my life at this point. And man, that movie was like, I felt like I earned that movie, if that makes any sense. Like I felt like the past 5 years of my life was like, that was my ticket stub in to see this movie, you know? It was all the kids that liked Infinity War. I hated that movie. I thought it was fucking boring. It was too long, and it was just too much. Both of them, whatever they're called together, like it was just too much. It was just too much, man. It was nothing was valuable because it was too much of it. Nothing meant anything in those movies to me. Like, did I get a little upset when he snapped? Yeah, it was pretty hard to watch that happen, but it didn't touch me like this one. This one had plenty of fan service, but I don't think it went to the degree of those other two movies. And
it had a lot of heart to it, like Spider-Man did. Like it had a lot of heart.
Yeah,
to
it felt like it just felt like it was made for everybody that loves fucking Spider-Man. Whereas the two, what do they call it, Infinity War and Endgame, those felt like they were made for people that only know about the MCU. And this movie felt like it was made for people that not only like the MCU, but they also like two other generations of Spider-Man movies and all the comic book nerds. Like I'll tell you, the only thing that I wish was in this movie that wasn't was some kind of tip of the hat to Stan Lee. Something should have been in that movie.
They did have a little reference earlier in the movie.
Yeah, but I want,
it wasn't much.
No, I'm talking like even like a CG put in there shitty fucking version of Stan Lee. They should have something significant to where you know that's what it is. It's even if it was a pause of the movie and he just shows up, like I feel like that's the only thing that could have been put into this movie to make it any better. But dude, I haven't liked a movie like that in a long time, man. I mean, literally since Into the Spider-Verse, it's the same feeling I got. I was like, wow, dude. I was like, fuck, dude. I want my kids to watch this. Like, I want my friends to watch it. I called my uncle in California and fucking told him to go watch it. Like, dude, you know how many times I call my uncle and tell him to watch a movie? Once every 4 years, dude. Like, rarely. And so, you know, that's the kind of movie that movie was. I was a little surprised it wasn't anywhere on your list, Josh. Like,
yeah, I mean, I wish it connected with me. I feel like I missed the boat. Like I'm not in the club. Like it didn't connect for me.
That fucking blows my mind.
I thought it was just pretty good.
That's insane.
Like my only nostalgia for Spider-Man is like the old Tobey Maguire movies. That's probably that first Spider-Man movie is probably the first superhero movie I saw in the theater.
I'm trying to think.
And
mine was like it was in the 80s.
Yeah, I mean I was born in 91, so
fuck off, sir. I'm old as shit. We know.
So I mean that one, or I think I saw that before X-Men. So
dude, I just realized I turned 40 in like 2 months. Jeez Louise. Sorry, as soon as you said 91, my brain started doing math, and I'm like, oh, that's not good. Yeah, the first superhero movie I saw in the theaters was Batman, 1989, and then Ninja Turtles, but I saw Ninja Turtles a bunch of times because that movie was the shit. Still holds up. Great movie.
Yeah.
I think those are probably my first two.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Spider-Man for me, there was a few things that were cool, but I don't want to shit on it because I don't
No, dude. I mean,
I think it's
I'm not too surprised. I just wish that it connected with you because you're my best friend. So I'm like,
yeah. I mean,
man.
y'all know Spider-Man was never my guy. Really.
I mean, if this was a Sandman movie, you'd be talking about like I was talking about Spider-Man. Hopefully.
Well,
yeah, hopefully you would be not crying because it was terrible. Because then I would have to feel your pain, console you, and be like, "I'm so sorry, Josh."
Pretty nervous about that Netflix show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's a fun movie. I thought a lot of the humor was really bad.
Oh, really?
personally.
Some of it was kind of corny.
I cringed quite a bit, but I don't know. I just thought it was a fun movie.
Isn't that wild, dude? That's so crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. That's awesome. Dude, we had some pretty interesting lists because mine was, I'm looking at it, I'm just like, but I mean, I stand by it, dude. That list is movies I fuck with, dude. Like, it's good shit to me. But I'm going to make a lot of people mad when I do my top 10 horror movie list because people are dumb. They like dumb movies. Dude, I was talking to somebody the other day and like, I think it was last weekend, and they mentioned horror stuff. We were just talking. We were in my store, and they asked me. Oh, it was it was yesterday. He was buying. I bought a Halloween Kills Ultimate Michael Myers NECA figure because, well, I like money, and so I bought it knowing full well that it was worth way more than I was going to pay for it. I bought it at Walmart, so it was $30, and I knew immediately I could get 50 for it, so I put 60 on the tag. Just because I need shit in my store. So I was like, all right, if it doesn't sell, I don't really care. Somebody that I like walks in and offers me money for it, I'll take it. And so just so if you're wondering, ultimately I took 40 for it. I didn't actually take 60 because that's not the point sometimes with these things. A regular of mine came in and he was like, ask me how much it costs. I said, I don't know if it's 50 or 60, but it's in that price range, but there's a tag on the bottom. So he picks it up and he goes, it's a little too much. And I said, hey man, I paid 30 plus tax. If you'll do 40, I'll sell it to you. And so he's like, all right, cool. So we're talking about it. And then he's like, yeah, man, I love this movie. And I went, oh, man, it's terrible. like instinctively, I couldn't help myself, man. He was like, what, really? I was like, yeah, dude. He goes, man, well, what about Malignant? I went, oh, my God, you're 2 for 2. I was like, dude, it's a horrible movie. But so I'm looking forward to my comment section on that one. Because my channel's starting to grow, and I'm like, oh, no. This is going to make me lose some fandom.
Those are both dishonorable mentions for me.
Facts, sir. I'm actually going to make a top 10 worst movies of the year list because it's not going to be very difficult.
Yeah. And
I'm telling you right now, I will not put The Green Knight on there. I think that wasn't made for me. No, I think there's a difference between shitty movies and ones I don't understand. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with not getting a movie. It's okay. Not all movies are made for me, but we can all agree that some of these movies are just made poorly. And that's what that list is for.
Yeah.
But
very reasonable of you.
Well, no, I mean, if I was to put Green Knight on there, it would only be to troll my 2 best friends. That's really stupid. Like, that's real dumb. I want to go back and watch Titan again. Titan, whatever the fuck it's called.
Titan.
God, dude, I'm not going to say that right ever.
Or Titan. I don't know. Whatever.
Well, this has been 2 fucking hours, so let's get out of here.
Yeah.
And let everybody go to do what they're doing. If anybody's still watching, we do appreciate it. This 2021 was a horrible year for the world, but a great year for, hanging out with your buds and talking about movies and shit, man. Going to see movies, man, it's debatable, but hanging out with your friends and talking about it's been a lot of fun. So
for sure,
2022 should be a banger of a year for my channels and hopefully Josh's channel and just what we're doing here as a trio. So subscribe to our channels. Go fuck with Josh's channel. All right, quit being a dumbass. He makes better content than I do. He's just not as loud about it. Fucking. But
thank you. I appreciate it.
I mean that, man. I truly enjoy your videos. If I didn't, I would definitely tell you because I'm an idiot. So, all right, man. You guys take it easy. Happy New Year, everybody. Go fuck yourself.